Hey, my name's Jesse. I'm the maker of imdone, frictionless kanban for your markdown and code. And I'm going to share a few features with you that are in the 1.45 release, the next release of imdone. This release is really all about making your folder structure for your markdown notes and files scream. So you want to be able to recognize right away what is in each file, whether it's cards on this board or just content or ideas that you had or notes about a specific topic. Currently, my project, my source code and notes does not scream. I'm using the folder journal type in imdone, and so each day imdone creates a new file for that date in my journal folder and puts all the cards in there. So I really have no way of telling what's in it. I can find things pretty easily in imdone with a search, or just use a search here and find the file. But I'd rather that I just were able to look at my folder structure and see things. So I started doing this a bit, but imdone wasn't set up for it. So I found that I was writing cards in my IDE or in vscode and then having them appear on the board. But the cards I created in imdone were just getting thrown in these other files. Not great. So my solution for this hopefully works for you. It's the ability to add a new card to any new or existing markdown file in a project. So it's just a simple input with a bit of autocomplete in it with all the files and folders that are in your project. You can add new folders, new files easily. Anything you create here will be created in your project. So that's one feature. Another feature is interpolated content. So currently you can use interpolated content in your cards, but it's temporary, right? Your card still has the syntax for the interpolation. There's either there's a property or a metadata or something that you're interpolating and you're getting the value of it in your card. Well, this is permanent. So if you use the syntax of $sign and then curly braces around it, and the property or the metadata, whatever it is, tag within your card that you want to display, it'll be permanently interpolated. And then the last one was I added another default board action for new projects, and that's duplicating cards. So I'll show you a little bit of that, and hopefully next time I can go into a little bit more about creating board actions. But you're going to get a little taste of what it's like for me to work on putting out a release. I'm in the process of launching this release, just finishing up this work. And you can see my board for imdone lives in the source code for imdone, which you're seeing here. And let's demonstrate this first feature. So I'm going to add a new card to any new or existing markdown file in a project. I'm going to add one. Let's just make something up. Let's say I'm working on a DevX feature. Maybe it's one of these things I have right down here, like post-release to releases. I'm going to create another board action or something. So I'm just going to say DevX. Let's put a spot for new board actions or board action ideas. So that's a folder. And let's just create a file. imdone releases.md. So any board actions related to imdone releases, we'll probably put in that file. And we'll just put something up here like, I don't know, post-release notes to medium. All right, fictitious, but it works. So now I'm going to save this with Command S, but before I do that, I'm going to put it in to do. I can either do Command S or just click save. I'm going to click save, and it's going to take a little bit longer because, well, it's not. Post-release notes to medium is not in the current board filter. I have a filter on right now for launch 1.45.0, so I'm going to clear that filter so we can see that card. And because I'm running in dev mode, because I'm still building and working out of a couple of the bugs, it's going to take a little bit longer. So there you see it. We'll get it to come up in that filter. You could see it got added to DevX board actions. I'm done releases. I want to be able to see this, so I'm going to add the tag that's in that release 1.45. That's the tag I'm using for the release. We'll save that. And let's click on this so you can see where it takes me to. So you can see I'm done releases got created under DevX board action ideas. So now if I have another board action idea, I can just put in the same file, right? So we're going to post release notes to Medium. Maybe we want to post them somewhere else. Let's post release notes to, we'll put this under DevX again, board action ideas. We'll put in the same file. See how you get the nice autocomplete? I'm done releases. Okay, post release notes to LinkedIn. And we want this to show up in our filter, so we're going to add the 1.45 release tag, save that one. That's going to save into do. Okay. And let's go back to our filter. Okay, you can see all the tags right now, so I'm going to get rid of those tags. Just T gets rid of the tags. It's a lot cleaner to look at. I also like to put emoji on the front of all my cards, so we can add those later. All right, so you see that anything you do there, any full file name you put in there is going to show up. Another thing that it does, just like it does today, when you have the new file, card type or journal type rather, it's going to create a file name for the title. It'll only do that if you don't put a title in with .md at the end. So if you have a folder structure in the field, so if you just put devx here, right? And I type, post release notes to Twitter, and you're going to expect to see all these in these different spots coming up soon if I'm creating cards for it. So post release notes to Twitter. If I save this one, oh, it's going to put it put it in the name, it put it in the note column. So we're going to move this to do. So it just put it in I'm done notes, post release notes to Twitter. It's probably because I didn't have a slash at the end. Let's try that again. Actually, I think the functionality that it has now is if you don't put a .md, it puts it in your journal folder with the file name. So be sure to select a folder that you want to put it in. It's not that hard. Think of where you're going to organize these things as you write them. You can select an existing file, and that's that feature. So let's get out of here. I'm going to refresh the board. Let's add that one again because I kind of liked it. But we're not going to put that in. So DevX, board action ideas, I'm done releases, post release notes to Twitter, or it's X, right? All right, let's put that in I'm done 1.46 because I'm not going to put it in this release. Okay, we're going to save that. It's not in the current board filter, we knew that. All right, so that's that feature. Moving on to the next feature, update card source with interpolated content. This one's kind of cool. So let's just update this card. I'm going to hit E to edit it. So let's put a value in here. Let's just put timestamp. So when I save this, it's going to replace that with timestamp. See that? I just added the timestamp. All right, so now if I wanted the timestamp, just the current timestamp, I can use the double curly braces or mustache style. Timestamp with the curly braces gets me an interpolation when we view the card. See? So now if I go and edit, it's not actually changed. So that's it. That's that feature. That's actually kind of nice. It's actually meant to fix a bug with the Getting Started project, the tutorial. I have the $ brackets timestamp in there, and it's not actually reflecting the right created time stamp. So that'll fix that problem. We're just going to close this editor. Actually, let's get rid of this. I don't like it. Let's save it, and I can show you the next thing. So the next feature that I'm adding for 1.4.5 is another default board action. It's duplicate card. This is really cool. I love this for things like this launch 1.4.5. I'm going to duplicate it right now for launching 1.4.6. Okay. So before I do that, so that you can see it when it gets created, I'm going to go get rid of this filter here. So we're going to see a lot more cards, and it's taken a while because I'm in dev mode. So let's duplicate this card. This thing here, duplicate card, is one of the board actions. It's Shift D is the keyboard shortcut, and your board actions, if you want to copy it from a new project, this will exist in new projects and projects that you select. Maybe you select a folder that already exists. It's going to copy a bunch of stuff in there. It copies these board actions in there. Puts your configuration in there. It all lives in the .imdone folder, like you probably know. But you can edit any of these extension files in your project just by clicking on these little links down in extension files. And you'll see this one here, it's duplicate card, right? It's a pretty simple board action. You could take a look at it when you open up 1.4.5 for the first time and create a new project. Copy it into your existing projects in that same board actions file, the board file, board.js file. You can get to it through this shortcut here. So anyway, let's get to duplicating this card. So we saw the keyboard shortcut is Shift D for duplicate card. So I'm just going to duplicate that card right now. And there you go. It duplicated the card. So let's follow our new process here. I'm going to create a new folder. Actually, there's one already created, releases. All right. So all of these launch cards are going to live in this new releases folder. So a couple things I want to change. I want to change this 1.4.6 update change log for this release. It's about, I don't know what it's going to be about, so I'm going to get rid of this and say it's about ... and we'll just add a name for this file. We'll call it launch 1.46.0.md. Okay, that's it. And we're going to add the 1.46 tag to this so it shows up. Created, we want a fresh timestamp on this. So timestamp. And let's go ahead and save it. There it is. Launch is not in the current board filter. Okay, we got dev mode sneaks up again. So we're going to refresh and we'll see what's in there. Let's take a look. All work should bring up all work. Let's check if it's in the imdone ignore. So that could be it. Releases might be in the imdone ignore. No, it's not in the imdone ignore. So let's look for launch. We'll do a search, filter, and we'll look for launch. Not there either. Where'd it go? Let's go back to our source code. Looks like it's there. Releases launch 1.46.0.md. It's in backlog. It put it into my default list. That's what it did. I didn't change it. I didn't change the list. Okay, no bug. Just missed where it got put. So let's show the backlog right now. Once the board comes back up, it's a rather large board and we're in the oh, it's not. What am I looking in to do for? So it's in this list right here, launch 1.46. There it is. So let's move that up to the top of backlog. Let's move it over to do, and now it's there. So let's move it down below this 1.45, and we will take care of that one when it comes up, but you can see the file that got created is the one I told it to, and it's ready for me to go when I'm ready to launch 1.46. So I hope you like the latest features. They should be available when this video posts. So go out and get it. And next time I'll show you a little bit more behind the scenes with the next release, and maybe get into a little bit more of my board actions, what I have them doing. Really quick look at them right now. You've got copy cards as markdown. So if you have a filter and a bunch of cards, you can put them all in one markdown file if you want to organize things. That's one I created just so I could get organized. So I can filter my board for specific topics, then create a file for that, and then delete all those cards. And those old cards are gone, and then the new cards are in the new file. So that's how I'm going to get organized. You'll get an update on how it goes in the next video. So if you like this video, hit the like button, follow my channel on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and also subscribe for my newsletter. It's in my profile on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.